Preliminary look at another Victor Victrola the Ninth. This one's 1917. Did a lot of 1916s lately, but this is a 1917. Same basic machine. Obviously red mahogany, and this is another one that really was never banished to the attic or the basement or some garden shed. It was in a home, on display, possibly being used, I don't know. A friend of mine found this actually in Florida. And it's in very, very good condition. We have some slight patina to the finish. That's normal for shellac. That's how it ages. No major damage anywhere that I can see. Trim's all in good shape. There are no veneer issues. No lifting of the veneer, which sometimes you can find that in a humid climate. Because they did use hide glue, you know, on the veneers and all of that stuff, on the whole machine. And then when that gets damp, it can start to lift up and stuff. But not here. Not here at all. And paint splatter right there on the foot. That's normal. Somebody painted and didn't cover the back of it. This will clean up. I mean, it's dirty. I can see that. That'll lighten up considerably once it's been cleaned and waxed properly, and maybe a little wood feeder if it's dry. I don't think it is, but just in case. And this is number 313080G. Like I said, 1917. Yeah, look, it's got the knob. A lot of times this knob disappears. Gets loose, the screw falls off inside the case, they put the knob somewhere, they forget about it. But this knob is handy to have. Why? Because you can lift up the motorboard easily. Let me get the tone arm out of the way. And here's the typical 2-spring motor that all of these 9s have. Now it changes configuration several times throughout the life of the machine. This is the one that's typical from 1915, 16, 17. In 1918, this, or even late 1917, I believe, this will get the single spring barrel. Instead of the 2 spring barrels you see here, be 1 single spring barrel. That'll show up about 6 or 7 months after this machine was made. Motor is not that dirty. It's got some nasty black grease on there, but it's not as caked as I thought I would find. Let's see. We have a loose lock washer. That's normal. The felt washers are still in there. A lot of times these motors get taken out for some reason. People lose those washers. Don't put them back in. Screw the motor back in, and it's a little off at that point. The turntable's not sitting where it should be. Sometimes the brake isn't catching right. The speed control's a mess. So you got to have those felt washers or some reasonable facsimile. Okay. We got all the governor weights. We knew that already because I spun it up before. I know the springs are dry because it was thumping and bumping. But my friend said it was actually playing at the flea market. Couldn't have been playing very well. We got some mold flowers there. That's typical. We'll get rid of that. Little mildew. I did rebuild the exhibition reproducer last night because I'm just not going to bother playing records of what was on there. All the gaskets were cracked. It was needed doing. So it has a new diaphragm, new gaskets, new springs. Everything's good there. Probably should put a needle on it, but I'll do that in a minute. And the brake's in good shape. Needle can is there. That's always good. Sometimes they disappear. This one's there. But this machine was being cared for, so that is not too surprising that the needle can. Let me put the camera down for a minute, put the turntable back on. A little awkward to do one-handed. It slides on there and you rotate it until it drops into the, which it should have done already, but it must be sticky. Come on. Brake holes. There we go. Drop down onto the pin. Okay. And let's wind it up a little bit. Put the brake on. Let's see. That's good enough. And a needle, and notice Yeah, we'll have to check that out, make sure all 5 ball bearings are under there. And that's a simple adjustment of that pin on top there. Just loosen the screw, tighten it down a little, slide the pin down, tighten it back up. But for the purposes of this demonstration, it will suffice. Now, let's see what we got here. This I did notice. I don't know if we can see that on camera. Notice the scratching here? Only on this door, and the door only. It doesn't go to the rest of the machine, which is weird. It's like someone had the door open, maybe. It was scratching against something, hitting against something, or possibly even an animal, a dog. I don't think that's cat scratches, but could be dog. I mean, it's so dark, obviously been there for probably most of a century. Somebody must have been pissed when that happened. Some of that will polish off of there and clean off of there, and you won't see it as much, but it's really not noticeable. You know, not unless I do a close-up with the camera anyway. Part of the machine's journey through the last century, 102 years old. I mean, it's an amazing condition for its age, that's for sure. But then again, Victor machines are built very well. Let's see. You Know What I Mean by Al Bernard. That is a comic song with orchestra. Victor machines are built very, very well. And they last a long time. Quality materials throughout, quality construction. Very solid. And the 9 was one of the best. And this was Victor's most popular machine. Right here. And it's easy to see why. It plays records very well. Has a nice sized horn. You know, everything, all of Victor's best patents are in this machine. And it's got the lid. It's not the only small tabletop Victrola with a lid, but it definitely was the most popular. Everything's solid too. Look at the hinges are not loose and wobbling around. Definitely was cared for, and everything's there. Nothing's missing. It's always irritating when you find things like that knob gone or the needle can gone. Then you got to source parts on eBay or some other. In my case, I go into my part storage. But let's see.
That your eyes have seen there's something wrong with me, and you know what I mean. Oh, I'm just crazy about your kisses, honey. You know what I mean. Oh, when your lips meet mine, I feel so funny. You know what I mean. You're just a dream of loveliness. You surely know just how to dress. You play and sing and everything so different from the rest. I'd like to hear the preacher say that we are, you know what I mean. And in a year or so we both may have a little Ford machine. We'll find a little cottage where the roses bloom, with a parlor and a kitchen and a dining room. And we'll have to see that there's room for 3. Oh, you know what I mean. When we're married, we'll go down to Cook, look through their tourist book, and pick some shady nook. Then we'll visit those exquisite tropic island scenes, the kind you read about in all the magazines. Oh, I'm just crazy about your kisses, honey. You know what I mean. For when your lips meet mine, I feel so funny. You know what I mean. You're just a dream of loveliness. You surely know just how to dress. You play and sing and everything so different from the rest. I'd like to hear the preacher say that we are, you know what I mean. a parlor and a kitchen and a dining room, and we'll have to see that there's room for three. Oh, you know what I mean.
Hear the spring rumbling in there? That's going to need some cleaning and relubricating. But that's normal for, you know, these machines have been, well, 102 years, and chances are it's a possibility that those springs have never been out of the can, but I'll find out. If I see Victor Talking Machine Company label, you know, stamp on it, chances are they are original. But they could have been replaced because this was a machine in service, so, and it wasn't abandoned. I'm sure there were times it wasn't played very much, but it was at least kept in the house. Let's see if that spring will play. I mean, you know it's a good spring set, if when it's dry and rumbling, and it'll still play a couple records. I don't even wind it up all the way, but we'll see if it'll do it. Oh, it's rumbling.
One sweet song. I'm asking you, would you be blue if your doctor said, I know you won't last long? I feel sick, that's what I do. Hear what I'm telling you? Oh, gee, I've got the bellhop blues, the kind of blues I never lose. Morning, late at night, anything I do ain't right. It's always front, boys, they do it to an eye. You know that feeling that comes with feeling and kills your joy. If all the folks here would use common sense, they know the meaning of recompense. And do they tip me? They never do. I've got the bellhop blues. What's the use? No excuse. Seems to be the world to me is just all wrong. And every day most people say, listen buddy, you're the kind that don't belong. So I'm blue and I could cry. This is the reason why. Oh gee, I've got the bellhop blues, the kind of blues I never lose. Waking in the daytime and at night, I get abused and that ain't right. It's always ice, boys, there's nothing I enjoy. I have to handle most all the scandal. It kills my joy. If all the folks here would use common sense, they know the meaning of recompense. And do they tip me? They never do. I've got the bellhop blues.
You hear that thing rumbling and bumbling? Yeah, that's the spring. That's what a dry spring sounds like. Actually, I should let that wind down. I got to take the motor out. Well, it's playing well because the reproducer has been rebuilt. If it had been with the other reproducer on there, there were massive air leaks. The back isolator gasket was gaping open and dry as a bone. This is all new. And the gaskets on the diaphragm were pretty badly cracked and dried too. And the needle bar was out of alignment. All the wow, you hear that? All the typical things that happen after 102 years of service. And who knows when that reproducer was last rebuilt? Maybe never. It's very possible that it was never rebuilt. I mean, who looks at it if it doesn't need looking at, so. And you can see the speed control is not where it should be. Also typical. And these are actually very easy to adjust. There's a lock under there. You just unscrew it, move the needle where it needs to be, screw it back down, and you're all set. Well, I'll do that after I service the motor because chances are it's going to change its position during that time. So there you go. There's a look at a nice survivor of the Victor Victrola the 9th. And even on the back, it's in pretty good shape. Oh, the peanut gallery wants to be heard. Yeah, he was looking at it before, and trying to figure out why the turntable wouldn't stop spinning when he whacked it with his paws. See if we can hear it rumble again. Pretty quiet voice on it too. Not making too much noise. Which means all the parts are nicely worn in like they should be, as much as a Victor motor ever wears. Surprisingly quiet, considering there's really not much grease on the gears or oil. Oh, look who's back. How can we help you today, Buster? Huh? You want to check out the machine too? All right, go ahead, buddy. No, he's just passing through. Well, I guess it's done rumbling for us. That's why you got to take the springs out of the cans, barrels, and clean them and relubricate them. I mean, not only does it rob power, but it's irritating in the middle of a record. Boom! Sounds like somebody's hammering on the inside of the machine. I know it's not a pleasant or a clean job, but it does have to be done. If you don't do it yourself, have someone else do it for you. There are outfits out there that do that professionally. You send them the motor, and they clean it up for you, and they repack all the springs, that kind of stuff. Same stuff I do here for myself. See, I had to learn it on my own because there was nobody around here who did that kind of work, and back before the internet came along, it wasn't that easy to find these people who do that sort of thing. So I just learned it myself. Learn the reproducers too. So can you. No, she's smooth now. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We're back to play with the turntable again. Come on now, bud. You didn't stop it before. You're not going to stop it now. Yeah. Oh, he's trying. Don't play the record with your claws. Oh, slowing down anyway. What fascinates you so, huh? Yeah, I don't want you hopping on the record, buddy. Yeah, put you over there. No, I guess it's not going to thump and bump. It's done. Kind of surprising because it let out a few loud ones earlier. Oh well. Next video you see on this one, we'll have it all. Oh, he's back for more. We'll have it all cleaned up and playing well, and then it'll disappear into the collection, or maybe I'll sell it. We'll see. Oh, buddy. You can't play the record with your claws. No. Oh, you want to bite my finger instead, huh? Yeah? Okay. Oh, yeah. Chew on my fingers. That's nice. Bite the hand that feeds you. That's never a good idea. Come on, buddy. There you go. Shake hands. Let's go. No? Alrighty. Whoa, watch your paws. Don't get your head stuck in there. Come on. There you go. Oh. And there you go. There's a look, preliminary look anyway, at the Victor Patrol of the 9th before I take it all apart. And Buster the cat, who still wants to chew on my fingers. Look at this. Look at this. Yeah.